Hey, what's going on, parents? Welcome back to Teenager Tuesday.
Woo!
Will's here with Elijah.
Elijah's here
Hey.
with Will.
That's kind of a bad way to intro.
No,
but-
it's great.
Well, you always intro the culture updates.
I know, I feel strange.
Okay,
right
sorry.
now.
You do it now.
What's up, parents? Welcome back to Teenager Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we're so excited to have you for the culture update, where we update you guys on what is going on in the student culture today. There
That
we
was
go.
so much better than when I just
Well,
did it.
I've been doing this.
Yeah,
I've been
you're a
doing
veteran. You've been at Hope for what, 6 years?
this. 6 years.
Over 6 years.
Yeah, going on 7.
Wow.
7 years into forever.
Yeah.
Nice.
Amen. That's what you say all the
I
time.
say that a lot.
Well, we have a lot going on in the culture, including a slang word that we're going to be careful with.
You got to be very careful with this. You probably heard this word being actually, I don't know if you've heard this word being thrown around your house. Maybe.
If it has, maybe you need to have a conversation with your middle schooler or high schooler.
Yes. If your students are calling you or people around you huzz.
H-U-Z-Z.
Huzz.
Huzz.
What's up, huzz?
Yeah, it does not mean the same. Well, it can maybe mean the same connotation as like when people would say cuz. Maybe. We're giving the benefit of the doubt.
Benefit of the doubt, for sure.
Because what it means is we're going to spell it and not say it. Huzz means H-O-E-S.
Yes.
It's calling someone an H-O-E-S.
Yes. Huzz. If you're saying, man, they're a huzz, this person's a huzz.
Yeah.
It means that they're getting around, dating lots of people.
Yeah.
They're type that. You know,
Never
that, have
never
that.
single.
Never single.
Never single, always looking to be in a relationship.
Yep.
Yeah. But, if you give the benefit of the doubt, maybe you could say sometimes girls use not nice words to call each other that is meant in an endearing way.
It's true.
Still probably not the best slang word to use.
Yeah, another word right now. This is a bonus. It's not on our notes.
Okay.
Another one is bops. If people call bops, it means the same thing as huzz. Same thing.
Yep.
Girls being a bop, they're being
Yep.
a huzz. It just means you're dating around, looking for relationships, whatever.
Yeah.
So
We're here to keep you in the know.
gotta stay in the know.
Bops. Now you know what it means.
I would say use that word at your family dinner tonight, but probably don't do that.
No, normally we say to drop the word.
Yeah, don't
This
drop
one is
this
like
word.
be on the
You
lookout.
just gotta know.
Yeah. Talking about being on the lookout for things, obviously AI is in everywhere, in places all over. And one thing, I don't have Netflix, so I actually haven't seen this series, but it's like, last I looked, it was like number 2
Yeah.
on the chart of Netflix. Have you seen it?
I've seen parts of it. I actually know this story because I've watched different things on it. I'm not a big murder mystery, like true crime person, but my wife loves this stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm scared for my life all the time because she loves this stuff too much, maybe. But she loves hearing these things. And something that came up in this series about Gabby Petito, it's on Netflix, is
American Murder,
Yes.
Gabby Petito.
Yeah.
Petito?
Petito. Yep. And there's just a story about her. But in this series, they use AI to pretty much replicate her voice exactly.
Yeah, post-death.
Post-death, yes. So, which, I mean, just in terms of AI stuff, we're talking a lot about that probably in the future, but it's happening, and there's so many new innovations going on with it. But this is a big one: using people's voices to replicate them in a series.
Yeah.
I think it has a lot of implications. First off, I think there's always good sides and bad sides, and being in that middle ground of that, where man, what a cool thing where you could hear someone's voice that. Man, you could hear your grandparents say something.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It is. So the family gave permission to Netflix to use the voice creation at first. And then after they actually saw it, they were like, oh, we hate that. That's weird because our daughter didn't actually say that.
It's like it's like honoring. It's like you want to respect the dead, and part of respect that, like, when I die, I don't want people using my voice, and then there's just like something that wasn't something I represented being said out there.
Yeah, it's not actually something that you said.
Yes.
Like that's literally putting words in someone's mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even for future, like the next few years, so we were just at a conference. This guy said, "This is the worst. This is the worst it'll ever be."
Yeah.
AI, and so, man, it's gonna be interesting out there to see what is real and what is fake.
Yeah, and it could be weird one day when people have characters in a cartoon series who the voices that are being used are not actually real people, but it's AI generated.
So strange.
It's going to be weird. And parents, we have a resource for you on AI. If you haven't checked it out yet, go to hopefellowship.net/parent resources. And we have a resource in there about AI that honestly we'll probably have to keep updating off and on. There's a few resources that we have to update each year almost, and AI is probably going to be one of those. But in there, it helps set up the conversation, because if you're not talking with your student about it and how to use it as a tool, then we're just kind of getting left behind, and students are figuring that out on their own, because everybody's using it, interacting with it.
Yeah.
And I do think it's something that as parents, it's up to us to make sure, and maybe they're doing great. Students are doing great, but it's up to us as parents, like, let's make sure that things are going great with it.
Yeah, for sure. Using it well.
Also, a tough conversation that it might be good for you to bring up with your teenagers is there was an Instagram glitch recently, a couple weeks ago. And on this glitch, it was a glitch within the algorithms. And what ended up happening is it overwhelmingly showed people, if you're scrolling through Reels, it showed pornographic material and like people being seriously injured or dying, and which those videos are crazy. By and large banned anyways. Right. But somehow this glitch happened where instead of like filtering that stuff out, it promoted it. Instead of like deleting it, it promoted it. So maybe you have students who have Instagram. If they do, probably need to have a conversation on like, hey, did you come across anything recently online that you wish you didn't see? It's never a bad thing to check in.
Yeah, it's probably good to always have those conversations. And as a pastor, if I'm telling people, parents are asking what sites are safe, what things are safe, obviously all social media should be monitored for teenagers, just so you know what they're watching. Because I would say try to avoid TikTok. There's so much algorithm stuff on TikTok that's bad. Instagram to me seems a little bit better. But either way, check in, make sure hey, what are you guys watching? What are some of the things that you're seeing? You'll see it in their algorithm. If you open up their Reels, their Instagram Reels, you'll see it'll show them the stuff that they want and they've been watching. So it should give you an idea of what's been seen. So
and Snapchat is probably our least favorite.
For sure.
And we kind of assume that teenagers aren't on X, like our teenagers aren't doing anything on X. If they are, you just have to know X doesn't actually filter out pornography either. Like X would be is
X
very
is open. With Elon buying it, has been open to pretty much everything. Yeah, which is
recently they've pulled back on showing people die, which is good.
Good for them. Learning,
but there's it's just always good to check in and have a conversation.
Right.
Actually, next week I believe me and you are starting a series on this podcast where we talk about how can you help your student be more honest with you. But
spoilers.
And part of that is just having those conversations, just approaching those. That way, it's not just like all of a sudden you're like coming in at the tail end, or they're about to be seniors, and you're like, let's have a bunch of serious conversations, but doing that along the way. We got one more thing going on in the world that is positive news.
Yeah, it's positive news. Christianity is growing.
It is.
Let's go. I think sometimes you look at you kind of look at it, and maybe in your mind you go, I don't know if like the whole God thing is working. I don't know if it's still growing out there. It is. Research shows that, man, we are having a higher percentage of Christians globally than ever. But it's interesting, at least what we're seeing in this area with our students, specifically at McKinney, is we have a lot of people coming. A lot of students are entering the doors, going in, and but the association with the local church is kind of where we're seeing a lack of, and trying to grow in that area. And what I mean by that is we have a lot of students who come to our church who aren't really trying to connect to the church. Mm-hmm. They're really just trying to find a place to go.
Find a youth group.
Yeah. Which is awesome. Yeah, I want them to plug in our youth group.
I think across the board, we do student surveys in the fall, and I think it's about 40% of our high schoolers, all of our high schoolers who come to Hope Students, they either go to a different church on the weekends, or their family doesn't go to church at all. So it is interesting, but there is that growth globally and in America too. This is like one of the first times since I think like the 70s or something. I forget, maybe earlier than that, earlier than that. But Pew Research had this thing come out, whereas between 2022 and 2024, there was an increase in Christians in America, which is crazy because we talk about like, we're heading in the wrong direction, it's not going well. It's like, well, actually, there was an increase of Christians in America, or at least people who identified as Christians.
Right.
And that was the first increase in like a long, long time. So there is hope on the horizon.
Yeah, there is. It's super cool. And then, I would just say that idea of connecting to a local church is very big. And I talk to parents about this a lot, because if your student loves youth group, that's awesome. Colleges and adults, there's not youth group. So
yes.
If you just love youth group, you fall in love with youth group. I want students to fall in love with God and understand the value of plugging into a local church and how that helps them grow in their faith. And so, man, be pushing your students towards that, plug into a church. And as parents yourselves, show them how to do that well.
Yeah.
So,
and it takes work.
It does.
But Christianity is growing. And as the body grows, you got to, body of Christ, you got to stay healthy.
Stay healthy, every single part. So it's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, parents, join us next week. Elijah and I are going to start talking about some one-off conversations based off of the surveys that you filled out starting in January. So we're going to start that next week. For now, you can do this. You're not alone. God is with you, and so are we. Have a great week.
See ya.